Do you do like an intro?
Not really. I never do an intro.
What? You should do an intro for this one.
Do you want to do the intro for me?
Okay, I'll do the intro. What's your podcast?
It's called Unswamped. Wait.
Let me face this way. How do I know if it's on? Is it working?
Yeah, it is working. It's like, it's the year one of the.
Are you ready?
Okay. Yeah.
Unswamped. Hi everyone, welcome back to Unswamped. I'm your guest today, and wait, restart. Gabby, don't make me laugh. Okay. Hi everyone, I'm Matthew Sedano, and I am a guest today for Ryan's podcast called Unswamped. Super excited to be here today. Thank you, Ryan, for having me.
Yeah. Yay. That was a good intro.
Thank you.
Okay. I now have questions for you, but I didn't bring. I tried the last episode when I did one with Jason like 2 weeks ago, where I just don't like bring in like any questions. It's like spontaneous. So, is there anywhere you want to start?
You can ask the question first, and I'll
Okay.
I'll
Okay.
add on to it.
Okay. Oh, Gabby says that you're a party person. Like you like parties.
You said that. Gabby's
funny
also
about
in
that?
the room, sitting in the corner. Yes and no. I mean, I didn't start going to parties until going into sophomore year, and it was like a beach party during the day. Very good experience for me. And yeah, ever since then, it's just like, yeah, it's fun, but it's just like, it's just like the stuff that goes on at the party is just like super pointless, and like none of it like actually has like any like importance and like meaning. It's like all you're doing is just going out to have fun with your friends, and like that's it. Like there's nothing else to it. And I'm not like I don't think I'm like a very like party person. Like I'm not like the life of the party. I'm not the life of the party. But I do like going, and it's just like, it's just like a time where I just feel like kind of like free, and like I'm not like worrying about something, and I'm always just like I don't know, I just can finally just be with people that matter to me, and it's just like we all have fun together. Are you a party person?
I'm definitely not a party person.
So we're like polar opposites. This should
Yeah,
be
I don't
fun.
think I'm. Well, it's probably because like I don't get invited to parties, and I haven't like gone to that many parties, so I don't really know what goes down when it comes to a party. But it might take like an adjusting period, but that's probably the reason. That's one reason why. Would you say that when you're at a party, you have like any aims about it? Like, do you are you thinking like
do I have any goals like for going into the party?
yeah, like goals basically?
Not necessarily. I mean, I kind of just go, just like whatever happens, and it's just like you're just there with your friends, and like that's it. And if like something happens, which usually doesn't for me, then it's just like whatever. But
Okay.
like, here's the thing about parties that I don't like. It's like, especially private school parties. It's like private school parties are only based on like an invite list only. It's like there's a group chat made. There's always people at the door. You have to give them money sometimes, and it's like you're only invited if you're on the group chat. And with some parties recently, it's been like, you get invited to the party, and then some of your friends don't make it, so you have to ask the host to like, can I bring my friend? And then they allow you to come. Or like sometimes, which has happened before, it's like someone that's throwing a party goes up to people and says like, oh, like you're not invited to my
Can't
party
be here.
anymore. And I just think I think it's stupid. I mean, it's like, sure, it's like you're throwing a party, but like, what's the problem with like having a little bit more people that's just within our grade? It's like you're inviting already 140 people. Like, might as well invite everyone else.
Do you think it's like an elitism thing, like popularity?
Oh, I think it's definitely like based on like popularity, and it's just like if you're connected with people that are considered to be like popular, then yeah, I think that's how you get in. And I think it's stupid. And I think like, because at public school parties I've been to, not even a lot, like not a lot.
Like 9?
Oh, 9?
No,
okay, and no, not a lot.
Yeah.
And it's just like everyone's there. Like you have different like types of people that are at the parties, and it's just like when I look at that party compared to like the private school parties that I've been to, it's like completely different. And I think that's just the difference between like private school parties and like high school parties. And so like public school parties are like could be more dangerous or stuff like that, but it's like it's the same thing. And it's just, I think like it's unfair really, but I mean at the end of the day it's just a party. It's like not the biggest thing in the world.
Yeah. I think the way I thought about parties has sort of changed. Like it's not like you don't have to have, like I think previously I thought that parties were like something you go to for a specific purpose versus just like you don't really need to have a specific purpose when you hang out with your friends or like be in a with a group of people. But then again, like what is like the feeling you get when like you're with like a crowd of people or like a group of people at a party? Do you feel like it just changes or distracts you from like being alone or by yourself, or do you feel like it's like an enriching experience, like where like it like you're still happy by yourself, but like this being in an environment like that is like a plus to your life or something like that?
I'll give some background before I answer that question. But like growing up, like when I used to go to like a really small school, and I would always like hear people like it's like, oh, I'm going to this party, I'm going to that party, and like I had never like experienced anything like that. And I kind of just felt like I was being like left out, and like I kind of felt like not necessarily like alone because I had friends, but I was just like I felt that I was being like left out because all my other friends are going to parties, and it's just like, damn, like I'm not going, I feel left out.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm missing like something so big. But then when I'm actually at the party, it's just like, this is it. Like this is like the hype everyone's like talking about, and it's just like it's not like anything crazy. Sure, it's fun, and like sometimes like I'm having like like a really good time, or there's sometimes where I'm just like not feeling it at all, and I kind of just want to leave. But I feel like it's kind of like it can either go either direction. It's like you either have a great time and you're loving it, and like you just feel like distracted from everything else that's going on outside of the party, or you're completely just like thinking about everything that's going outside of the party, and you're just like you just feel just like so like unsettled. And like I felt that before. And yeah, there's really two ways to go when you're at a party.
I noticed that like in social situations, usually people feel the most satisfied when they're not thinking about themselves. Like they're kind of just like act like present and like just interacting with other people or being with other people. And like when I went to that party, like the Lunar New Year party a couple weeks ago.
You were at the Lunar New Year party?
Yeah. And I was thinking like, because I'm like I would say I'm pretty self-conscious. And like when so many people are there like that, it feels really weird. And like the only way to let go of that is like stop thinking about yourself and just like realize that people don't like really they're not like judging you or anything. But how has your experience been with like being present or like not self-conscious with other people? Because I feel like that's a thing that develops for a lot of teenagers, but I don't know how it works for everyone.
I would say like in middle school and like the start of high school, like freshman year, I was really like self-conscious about myself, and I was like kind of scared of like what people had thought of me, and I didn't want them to think of me in a certain way. So I kind of just like, I don't know, I kind of just wanted to like reserve myself from like letting people actually know who I really was. And I just never really like I would say now it's like I'm more like I don't really care, like I'm never gonna see these people ever again. So but I still kind of have that like wall in a sense where it's like if I meet new people, like I'm not gonna like let them into like my life completely, because like, you know, like people leave and like people like judge you for no reason, and people hate you for no reason, especially parents. Shout out Jules' mom. And like, you know, people just like, you know, it's just like that's how people are. And it's just like I don't like, I become like less self-conscious over the years, but I've definitely started to like like I feel like I'm starting to go back to that now that like high school's ending. Like I don't want to go into college and it's like people know me for one thing and that's it. And I kind of just want to like be known as just like, I kind of just want to go back to how I was before in like middle school, where people don't really like notice me at all, and like they didn't really know me at all.
Are you okay with that? Like people don't know you? Like what'd you say you want to? Because like having, like I feel like the whole idea of popularity is based on like you are conscious of the fact that people in the school think of you as like a popular person or a cool person, and that is it. If it's not dominating, I don't know if it's unhealthy. Like if it's fine to have some sort of consciousness of status or like what people think of you. Like does that cross your mind when you think about college?
Well, in high school, I've never felt like I was popular. I've always felt like I was kind of like, I've never felt like I've been popular, Gabby. Like, sure, like I felt like people know who I am and like they like talk to me and I talk to them, but that doesn't make me like popular. Like, there's people that like I guess in our grade that I consider to be popular just because a lot of people like them and like they're like, I don't know, like I don't know how to explain popularity. It's like kind of stupid. It's like people kind of praise certain people for like being like, I don't know, like the most prettiest or like the most like attractive, or they're good at their sports. That's really it. And it's just like, or they're just like a cool person in general. It's like I think popularity is just like, it's just stupid. It's like, I think everyone's cool, honestly. Like everyone has their own like uniqueness about them. And I think that's what makes them like cool. And going into college, I mean, I don't even care if like I even have friends. Like I'm just trying to get that degree and leave. Like I don't care if like I'm like the most popular person in like my dorm building or like in like a class or like a frat, which I won't join. But like I don't care about that kind of stuff, and I've never felt the need to like be it. I kind of just like live my life, and if people accept me for the way I am, then like whatever, like I'm gonna be who I am.
Does your family have anything to, or does your family play into how you think about your friendships or like what you need to do socially?
I would say my parents have had a big like say in my life of like who like I can and can't be friends with. Like my parents would always say like, tell me who your friends are and I'll tell you like what kind of person you are. And I was like, damn, like okay. But
Yeah.
I've only had a couple of friends in my life where my parents aren't like, no, like I don't want you to be friends with them. Like I've heard like bad things about them, and it's just I don't want them to like be a part of your life, because if if me, Matthew, like starts going down a wrong path, it's gonna affect them, and I don't want that for them because they already have like so much going on. So it's like if they don't want me to be friends with someone, I'll like listen to them and like like I won't cut them off, but like distance myself from like how we were before. But
have they been impartial or positive in telling you like who your friends should or should not be?
I'm not sure. I feel like my parents just like want them to be just like someone that I can look up to, so they can like make me a better person in a way. And they don't want me to be friends with someone that's just gonna like set me back and like make me restart or make me like lose track of like who I really am. So I feel like my parents just want me to like be friends with people that are gonna like help me grow and not like help me deteriorate, I guess. But I don't know, that's just how I feel, how my parents like talk about my friendships, and past and present.
After you get your degree, what are you trying to do?
Well, it's changed recently, but when I was growing up, I was playing volleyball. I've been playing volleyball for 10 years now, and I really thought I wanted to like play in college and then play like pro after. But I just got really burnt out going into junior year. Like that whole like, what was it, like May to July, I was just done with volleyball. And I was burnt out because like I've been playing for so long. But I think the main reason was I had this one coach who just like really like belittled like all of like my successes and like my dreams of like like becoming like a pro volleyball player. Like he kind of just made me feel like I wasn't good enough for that. And so I like, for the first time, like I've received like hate like that before, but like this time, like coming from like a coach, it just like really like stung and like it really hurt. So like I listened to him and I was like, damn, like maybe I'm not really that great. And after that happened, like he started like putting me on the bench because I used to play all the time in club, and I was like, damn, like I'm really not that good anymore. Like I'm not the best that like I thought I was, and like what people would tell me I was. And so we started losing, and then I was like, you know what, like I'm done. I'm not gonna play club anymore. And so I was like, you know what, like I'll give school another try. Like maybe it'll be the same. So junior year last year it was awful. Every practice was just like a dread, and I hated it. And I was depressed, and I would go home crying. I'd go to school crying because I just couldn't handle like playing volleyball anymore. And I thought volleyball was the problem, but it was me. I was the problem. And it's just like I let myself believe something that wasn't true, and it just got to my head, and I just didn't. I don't know. I just never like really like understood that I was being the problem in this whole situation. And sure, maybe it was the best for me to quit volleyball, but I think that it was just like another like it just led me to another direction, because now it's like, now that college is coming up, it's like I didn't really know what I was going to do until the end of junior year. And I was like, like I'm going to do like journalism and like communications because I want to be like I want to be in like in the news industry or like a director for something. It's kind of messy, but that's kind of what I want to do. And in the future, hopefully I want to end up in New York. I want to like work at like one of the news stations, hopefully the Today Show. But I don't know, that's the goal right now. Maybe it'll change, who knows, maybe something will come up, but like that's what my dreams are right now. And now that I know, it's like there's gonna be so many people that are gonna try to like tear me down, but like now I know that it's like if they get in my head, it's just gonna be me that's like self-sabotaging like my dreams and stuff.
Like, was your like the when the coach like belittling you? What was it? Was it out of like good intentions, or was it out of like, or was it just like you were talking to him about what your dreams were?
In club volleyball, I was very quiet. I mean, I was kind of just focused on like getting to my goals. Like I didn't care about if my teammates or my friends or like stuff like that. Like I didn't care about that. I wanted to play to get to where I wanted to be, and that was it. And so right after freshman year here at Parker, we had won the regional title, and then we won state. And the next year going into my club team, my coach, like, he knew that I had won those titles because, I mean, everyone knew. And he kind of just, like, made me feel like, oh, like, you didn't, like, really, like, because I was just a freshman on that team filled with seniors and juniors. Mm-hmm. So he kind of just made me feel like I was being, like, you know, like, he didn't say it exactly. I don't really remember what he said. But, like, he said something like how the team carried me through it, and like how if they weren't on the team, none of it would have happened. And he kind of just made me feel like I was just like nothing at all, and like I was like I had no participation to my team's success, even though I did. Yeah. Like I started on the team the entire year that year. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, I definitely do not think his intentions were good. Maybe he was trying to like make me a stronger person, but he just broke me down, and he got me to my lowest points. And sure, he's a assistant coach at some really great school now, but I just don't think anything that he told me was anything good. I think it was just him trying to like get in my head and make me like irritated. I don't know. Mm-hmm.
You also mentioned crying like on your like way to score, like
yeah.
Back home. How often do you cry?
Oh.
Or is that like a natural?
Well, let's see. Well, here's the thing. I cry a lot. I would say it's like a healthy amount. I mean, it's for many things like school, college, volleyball, friendships, no relationships because that hasn't happened. But I would say like those main four things are like the reasons why I cry. Or I'm just listening to a sad song. It's like, damn, like I'm, you know. But I mean, I don't cry every day. But I mean, it's definitely often to a point where it's just like I consider myself like a crier. Mm-hmm. But it's nothing crazy. Like well, actually, volleyball gets crazy. It's just like my drive to school. I'm just like putting my bag in the trunk, and I'm just like, damn, like I just have to do this, live the same day like over and over again, and like it doesn't stop. And ever since like I was 14, I've just been doing the same routine over and over again. I've just gotten so tired of it. So every day of practice for junior year, I would just cry on the way to school, like because I was just so tired of just like repeating the same cycle every day. And it's like I had the same conversations every day. And it just made me melt down because I was just like in this continuous loop, and I just couldn't like find a way out of it. Mm-hmm. And so I just cry from to school and to back, and I just get home, I shower, and I just like cry in bed, and just like I just felt like I was just like in some like rut, and I just couldn't get out of it. And so yeah, I just thought like I was gonna quit going into senior year because I was just so tired of it. And it's just, I don't know. I think I was just in a very hard spot because right before junior year, I had quit club, and the whole club thing happened. So I was still like stuck on that, and stuck on the idea that I just wasn't good enough. Mm-hmm. So I just like, you know, just felt I was just very emotional. So every day I would just cry. But that was probably the most I ever cried. Now I've moved past it. So if I cry, it's like college or school or like family and friends. Like I haven't had a good cry about volleyball in a while. Maybe I will, but that's another podcast.
So Do you cry alongside other people, like
Oh.
your friends, or do you cry by yourself usually?
I cry by myself and music. I don't think I've ever really cried with people except one time, but that was at a party and that wasn't actually real. Shout out Gabby. But but no, I usually cry alone. I don't really like letting people see me that like vulnerable because I don't know. I feel like I don't consider myself like a tough person, but I just don't feel like I'm someone that like really like expresses my emotions in like that way. Like I've never been the type of person that's like, oh, like I want a hug or like like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like I don't
Like
like
in
that kind of
public.
stuff. Like if I don't like that, I'm not gonna cry in front of people. Well,
Uh-huh.
I will, but like I'm not gonna be like, oh, I need like someone to comfort me and like stuff like that. Like I don't.
Yeah.
I kind of cringe when I think about it.
Yeah. I I think I've cried like I don't know if crying is something that's like natural for everyone and some people suppress it or not. But for me, I've cried maybe like 3 times in the past like 2 years. And I wonder if that's like a normal thing or if that's if like I should be crying more or less. Probably not less.
Honestly, I think it's normal. I mean, I feel like many people like handle different situations differently. So like some people get more emotional about like people can get like emotional about the same thing, but one of them doesn't have to like cry. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that does make sense.
It's like some people handle it differently. So it's like I think it's normal to like not cry a lot. But I mean, if you haven't cried at all, then maybe you need to get that checked out. But
Yeah.
but I would say that's normal. I mean, I consider myself to be a very like emotional person. Even though I don't like showing it, like in person at least, like I think it's normal for people to like not feel a certain way about something.
Yeah. With crying, I remember last year, like last year was just super busy for me, and my health was also really bad, and so I just felt like everything was just so unmanageable, and so I would like come home and like feel super tired and then know that I had a bunch of homework and had to like do stuff for debate and then traveling over the weekends, and they're basically I would say I was like kind of depressed last year, and there were times where I just feel super sad and like hopeless, kind of like what you were saying about like going like through the same cycle over and over again. It's like at what point is this gonna end? Like when am I gonna like stop being so busy, and how am I gonna like achieve my goals if I'm not like busy? But I remember like just sitting in my room and like trying to cry. Like I was like so sad, but like the tears weren't coming. Like they didn't come. Like, and cause crying like it like releases something.
Yeah.
I feel like, and it wasn't like working. It wasn't like working for me. The only times I did cry were like I remember the one time like one time last year where I got into an argument with my mom or something, and I was just explaining to her like how bad I felt, and then like I was like, man, I can't do this, and then that's like when I started bawling and I like couldn't stop, but like I had to like come to something with someone else, I guess.
I think when was the last time I cried? Last time I cried was probably my uncle's funeral. But I think here's the thing about funerals. I've been to a lot. I've had my fair share of them. A lot of people in my life have died. But like when it comes to funerals, there's some people that like they're either like absolutely just like sobbing. They're just like screaming, crying, and there's just the people that are like completely okay, like they look like nothing has happened to them. But I feel like with those type of people, it's like they want to protect them from like, they want like the people that don't cry want to protect people from like, they want them to like feel like safe. They want them to like know that everything's gonna be okay. Like that's the type of person that they are. And I feel like that's the type of person like you are. It's like you want people to like feel that it's okay, and like you just have this like strong like wall of like emotions that you hide behind.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's like the type of people, like the two different types of people there are when it comes to like emotions and like crying.
That's really interesting. Yeah, I think that's like
because with me it's like, damn, like I be crying every day, but it's just like I'm very emotional. Like I'm not that type of person where it's like, oh, it's like I'm hiding behind a wall. Like I definitely do express like everything I feel
after like a good cry, or after you just cry. Like for example, after you cried on the way to school, does it just go away and then you feel fine, or you feel better in any way? Or do you feel guilty for crying at all?
It depends. It's like after I'm done crying, it's like, you know, like, well, I don't want people to see me crying at school. So like I force myself to stop crying. But I'm definitely like, I feel very like low and very like, not like, I guess like empty. Like I just feel so like different, and like
feels like a shift happened, right?
Yeah. There's like a shift that happens like after you're done crying, and it's just like it feels so like very like, I feel like stuck, and it's just like I feel like I'm crying but nothing's changing. Like I'm crying about something that's going on in my life, but like if I cry, it's like nothing's gonna change. Like I can't fix anything.
Yeah.
So I just feel like, damn, I just cried for like 30 minutes and like I still gotta do what I gotta do. So it's just like, I feel like some people think crying is like a way to like fix something, or like, sure, people can like cope with it, but it's just like crying is just like an excuse to just like stop yourself from doing something.
Oh, okay.
Or like feeling something, I think.
For me, I think it kind of makes me change, because like I feel how momentous it is if I do cry. Like emotionally, I feel kind of different after I cry, because it feels like I let loose on something, and then now it's like time for change. But if it's like what you were saying, like if you cry for no reason, and I suppose if it's like frequent, then it does maybe acts like an excuse. Do you want to talk about
We can talk about friends. That's a good way. That's a good conversation.
Yeah. How about you tell me how you became friends with Gabby?
Ooh. Well, Gabby and I are actually cousins.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
We're cousins. Well, we've been cousins since birth, obviously. But we became closer like in high school when I came to Parker, and her family was like, yo, like, you gotta send Matthew to Parker. So I was like, yo, I'll go. And Adam also helped me come to Parker because I was on the same club team as him. And his mom like convinced me to come. So I was like, okay, like I'll come to Parker. And well, first I was just hanging out with Adam, and I was like, oh, Gabby's here. Like I want to let her have her space, you know? And then because Izzy was also friends with her. So I was like, you know, like let's merge together, because Adam and Izzy were friends at the time. So then Gabby and I became like closer, and like we just became like really good friends. And it's just like with Gabby, it's just like, even though we're family, it's just like she's more of like a built-in best friend for me. It's like everything I feel, she feels, and it's just like everything that we go through everything together, even if it's like one of us is only experiencing it. It's like with Gabby and I, it's just like a team effort. Like we do everything together, and like we solve any like little problem we have. And I don't know, like I feel like everyone needs like a Gabby in their life. And with Adam, well, okay, Adam and I became friends in 6th grade, and we were on the same club team, and we played up a year, but I didn't know he played up a year yet. And then I met Adam. He's like, hey, like, I'm in 6th grade. I was like, oh, wait, me too. I'm in 6th grade too. And then we became friends after that. But we just became club friends. Like, we didn't hang out outside of school or anything.
Yeah.
And then as the year went on, like, more seasons came, like, we started drying up the tournaments together because we lived right next to each other. We found out we did. And then going into when I was in 8th grade, COVID had just happened. And Adam and I would always call over COVID on his little BlueBerry flip phone.
He had a BlueBerry flip.
Yes, he had a flip phone, and he told me he had an iPhone. He lied. He was embarrassed. It's like that kind of lie that like kids do. But he was like, hey, like, you should come to Parker, because he knew I hated my old school, which we can talk about after this. But I was like, sure, like, why not? Because I wanted to play volleyball in high school so I can play in college and like so on. Because I wanted to do that, because my old school didn't have that. So I was like, you know what, I'll try. So blah blah blah, admissions process, the coach comes to my practice, I somehow get into Parker. So now I'm here. Adam and I were like good friends, but I'd say freshman year is when we really locked it in. It's like Adam's like, I wouldn't call him my brother. Well, actually, no, I'll call him my brother, because brothers get pissed off at each other. And like, I love Adam. Like, he's like one of my good friends, but he's more of like, he's like a brother to me. It's like there's something that he does that pisses me off, vice versa. And it's just like, that's just how my relationship with Adam is. And I think it's like healthy that way, because I just think it's just like, it's always worked like that. And it's like, we don't have anything to fix. And it's just like, our friendship was built on volleyball, and that's kind of like what our friendship is based on. But like outside of that, it's just like there's an actual friendship to it. So I figure it's like we like built like a good friendship out of it. That's another friend I could talk about. Little shout out. Who should I shout out? Gabby. Gabby's also in here. Oh, we could talk about Kyber. Kyber, I met Kyber sophomore year. You know Kyber.
Yeah.
And he's just like a really chill dude. And it's like with Kyber, like we have a very like chill, low maintenance friendship. It's like, it's fine. I like it like that. It's fun. And he's very introverted, I think. I mean, here's the thing about being extroverted, introverted. I think that like for instance, I see Gabby as an extrovert, but other people may see her as an introvert. So it's like you never really know like what someone is. It's just like it's either like people may think I'm an introvert because I don't talk in class, but that's because I don't like them. Straight up. I'll say that right here live. But I don't know. I consider myself to be an extrovert in a way in some scenes. It's just like right now, it's like we don't really talk, but I'm telling you everything right now. And it's just like I'm comfortable with you, like speaking to you. So it's just like I feel like I'm an extrovert, but I feel like the way like people consider, like people just say like, how do I phrase it? I'm like getting lost in my words. Like, it's like people perceive people differently, and so it's like anyone could really be anything, and it's just like you don't really know like I don't really know how to say it. Do you know what I mean though?
Kind of like
it's like I can think you're an extrovert, but you're actually an introvert.
Yeah.
Like it's like you don't really know.
Yeah, it depends on kind of like
how close you are with someone.
Yeah, and like I think people definitely open up if you're like more close with them, or some people are like more introverted when you get close with them, which is weird.
Yeah.
But it's like Kyber once said like there's like 1,000 different like something like there's like 1,000 different perceptions of you and like of me, and you just have like one of them.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, there's like so many versions of me that like so many people know. And like some of them I absolutely hate and some of them I absolutely love. Like not the people, but like the way they see me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like yeah, like there's so like people like as we've gotten older, like we grow into like a different person. So like sure, I could have been like very introverted when I was little, but now I consider to be an extrovert. It's just like there's different versions of me that people like still remember me as.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say it's really just based upon like what time and like what era you like knew that person that made you come to that conclusion.
Yeah. I want to talk about the brotherhood thing, like with Adam.
Yeah.
When you say like you guys piss each other off, how does that happen? Like what goes down for something like for you to
I
piss
would
them off?
say okay. Here's the thing about me. I'm a very clean person. My car has to be clean inside and out. I hate having dirt on the inside. I hate trash in it. I get a car wash every week. If it's 2 weeks. My room has to be clean. It can't be dirty or else I'll like that's when you know I'm going through it.
Okay.
And with Adam, he's not dirty, but like he just doesn't he's very like
Messy or disorganized?
I'm gonna call him messy. I don't know what to call him. But like for instance, his car. His car is I'm gonna say right now live. It's filthy. It smells. There's dirt everywhere. Food, napkins, trash, and
Food?
that's just food.
Okay.
And that's just the way he is. And I've accepted that. Like when I go into his car, sure we all notice the stench, but it's just like it's whatever. That's him. But like when the two like mesh into each other, like I don't want him to get my things dirty because he keeps his things dirty. So that's what makes me mad. It's just like if I don't like something, then why do you still continue to like why do you bring it on over? Like why do you do it? But it's like it's nothing crazy, but I'm just like very like I become very intense when people like dirty or like scratch or leave stuff behind like something that I like take care of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's really it. Yeah. I mean,
but I think it would be better. Like, do you think pissing each other off is a good thing, or is it kind of just it's more of like it's more of like it shows how your relationship is very like you guys are being yourselves, like natural.
Yeah, I think it's normal and I think it's good. I mean, I feel like you can't really have a great like friendship with someone without having any like road bumps along the way. Mm-hmm. It's like how are you just gonna be like crystal clear throughout the entire like friendship if you don't ever like disagree about something?
Yeah. It's
like you can't really there's like no one in the world that you're gonna have like the same like ideas or agreements with, so why just like it's just like I feel like it's very healthy to just like argue and like very like disagree about something. And if you don't, it just feels like something's like someone's hiding something and like you don't want to say anything about it because you're just gonna like you're afraid of like disagreeing and arguing because it might lead to like a fallout or something.
Yeah.
But I think it's healthy and I think it's a good thing to have. And sure, like there has been times where Adam and I have had problems with each other, but it's like it's something we can't like overcome because like we're still friends today. So obviously we can like handle anything really. Mm-hmm. But like, yeah. And I feel like as we've grown older, we've been noticing like, well, this is with all my friends. It's just like the stuff like we argue about with people in the past is just so stupid. It's like, it's all high school like drama and it's nothing like actually like valuable. It's just stupid little stuff that that it doesn't matter at all. And I don't think I've actually had issues with someone that was something like super like big, like it was an actual problem. Like I've never had that because we're all just kids like trying to find like a way to argue about something. But yeah, I think it's healthy to argue.
Yeah. Do you ever argue with Gabby?
Yes. Yeah, we do argue. I mean, it's nothing like crazy. I mean, we have like, I don't think I've ever like hated on her. I've never have. But it's just like we have small little like disagreements, and like we get it over with because we just like send something, and it just like we send this little phrase. Gabby knows what I'm talking about. We send a little phrase, and we just laugh, and it's just like, you know, it's whatever. It's like we understand it, and we get how we like see it, but that's it. It's like we're moving on. We're still friends. It's just like whatever. Yeah. But I would say, like, this is another thing about friendship too. It's like I used to be friends with someone that we became really close, and like really close. And I would tell this person, like, honestly, like stuff I would tell my best friends Adam and Gabby. And then after that, it's just like it kind of fell out, and with no explanation, it kind of just like disappeared. And that's the one thing I get angry about. It's like, how are you gonna like be involved in someone's life and like share all these different types of things and then just like dip without any explanation because you feel like it? I think like, sure, it might have not been a big deal, but like for me, when it comes to friendships, I think communication is like the best thing. And it's like, if you can't communicate, then like really why be friends?
Yeah.
It's like, I want to know like how you feel, and if I make you upset, like let me know, because like obviously like I care about you to been friends with like so long, or to like tell you all these things. So it's just like, why are you gonna leave without any explanation when you know if you were to tell me, I would listen and fix it.
Yeah. You can't really be honest without like communicating.
Yeah.
To your friend. I have to go in like 10 minutes because I go pick up my brother. So we can
Okay. Last question.
Okay.
We'll talk about like middle school. You came in here freshman year, right?
Yeah.
Were you at the boat thing?
Uh-huh. I remember talking to you.
You did? He talked to me?
Yeah, I remember.
Oh god.
I don't know. I think you said like you played volleyball, and then that's like that's all I can remember.
Wait. I feel like I do remember, but that was such a like long time ago. I feel like I did remember you though, but I know who you are. Like I don't like see you. I'm like, who is that? Like, I know who you are. It's just like,
yeah.
Like our school is so small, but yet it's like big enough to where it's like you don't really see a lot of people all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this year we had like our first class together, right?
I think so. Yeah, I don't think I've had a class with you before.
Yeah, but middle school. Whew. Let's just say middle school was a eye-opening experience for me. I definitely did do a lot of things that I shouldn't have done, and
like you're a naughty kid, or
I wasn't a naughty kid, but it's just like stuff that I regret, stuff that I regret doing. And sure, I wish things could have gone differently, and the friendships that I had in middle school were great. They were good. Like, do I talk to them now? No, I don't. And it's just like the way they've changed over time is just something I don't want to be involved with. It's like, sure, like I miss them, but I miss who they were. And they have tried to like, contact me and like try to come back into my life, but it's just like, I don't have space to have like people like them in my life. Does it make sense?
Yeah. What has changed about them?
I would say it's like their personalities and like the things they do and like what they like now. It's just like we don't blend anymore, and it's just like I need to start like with like my parents. It's like how they say like, tell me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. And if I were to tell them those are my friends, they would send me to rehab or something.
Whoa, okay.
But I just don't think that like the friends you make in middle school aren't like the friends. Well, at least Parker's different because you're going to middle school with the people you graduate with in high school.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like friendships in middle school don't really like, they're just like, middle school's purgatory. It's like high school's where it's at with friendships. It's like those friends are gonna last longer than the middle school friendships. Because when you're in middle school, what are you talking about? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, what is going on?
But I would say my biggest takeaway from middle school is that there's gonna be a lot of people that, I don't know, everyone's just trying to figure out who they are and like what kind of things that they like. And there's just how they end up is something you can't change. And whether or not you want them to be a part of your life is your choice. But I feel like it's best for you to know that if you still have your middle school friends in your life, especially if they turned out like, you know what I mean, right?
I think so.
If they turn out the way they turned out and you're still have them in your life from middle school, that's no good. Like, you're just in a rut and you want to live middle school all over again. You just want to feel like, because middle school felt safe for you, or I don't know. I feel like people are just like trapped if they're like still friends with the people you were in middle school. Mm-hmm. Especially if like Parker, I'm not talking about people at Parker because that's a different situation.
Yeah.
But I would say if like you come from a middle school outside of Parker, it's just like if you're still friends with your friends from middle school and they turned out the way they turned out, like how my friends did, like I wouldn't want to be associated with them because I feel like I'd be trapped and they would just keep me from like, you know, like just being the person I am today.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I was talking to Ethan about friendships.
Ethan Urquhart?
Yeah, Ethan Urquhart. And he said something that kind of changed my perspective, which was like he's fine with, he's like, there are friends that I'm like really close with and we talk about like deep stuff, and then there's people that like I banter with and it's like a mix with some friends, and then there's like, and then there's core friends and there's like periphery friends, and it's not bad to have periphery friends. Just because you're just like not super deep friends with them doesn't mean it's like you're being like inauthentic. Yeah. And I wonder, like, do you think that having those, just like talking to people in general and like having friends but they're not like Gabby and Adam friends, like, do you think that's important in our lives or like to your life?
I would say it's important. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of people in your life that you're like friends with, but you're not like incredibly close with them. Like, you don't tell them everything that's going on in your life. But I feel like that's important because you kind of just like, you're friends for like who they are and not friends for like everything that's going on in their life. And it's just like, for instance, like Kyber. I'll talk about Kyber because he's like one of my, like, he's a low maintenance friend for me. I love him. And he, like, you know, like me and Kyber, it's just like, I tell him stuff and like stuff that's going on in my life, but it's just like, we're very just like chill about our friendship. It's like, we're friends and like, we're not like best friends, but it's just like, just having it in my life and just having someone that's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, he's my friend and I tell him stuff, but I feel like he's just like a, well, I mean, Kyber's just a good person to have around, but
yeah,
maybe that wasn't a great example because Kyber's just a good person, but you know what I mean though? Maybe not really.
I don't know. Like, cause what always like confused me was like going into high school, like I was friends with Kira and
Doshi.
Yeah, Kira Doshi, and she was like a really good friend, and I was still figuring out friendship. Like, I didn't know what it was, and like why she was being so nice to me, and like what I need to do in a friendship, but I always thought of it like you're gonna have like deep conversations with them, you're gonna like care about them a lot, like, and then the people who are just like friends, like you can be like, I always thought it was being like inauthentic to be like friends with them and think they're like good people, but then not like not like engage with them like in the way that you would engage with like your best friend. And because I thought it'd be like it's like almost like admitting to the fact that like you're not the most important person in my life. You're just like we're just like buddies, but we're not like you're. I don't think you're like my number one in my life. So
yeah.
and so like how do you reconcile with like that like just admitting the fact that like you're not my best friend?
I would say like I do feel like I'm not like some people's like number one best friend or anything, but like I'm okay with that. And it's just like we're just friends. How do you have to leave?
Bye, Gabby.
Bye. Gabby's leaving. I feel like I'm okay with knowing that like I'm not people's number one best friends, and that's okay. And honestly, like I've like dealt with that so many times where I feel like I was but I wasn't. And it's like it's whatever. It's like I'm glad to have you in my life, and I don't care if like I'm not your best friend or anything, but like just to be able to have a friendship with you is like more important to me than like trying to have something that's not meant to be.
Yeah. Do you ever force it? Like, do you ever force anything that's like not meant to be? Because I feel like throughout high school I've been doing it the whole time. Like I've just been like, I thought like working hard was like the goal, was like the key to things, to everything, and like including relationships. That like you work hard, you can be like good friends with them. But like I realized that it doesn't really work that way always.
Should this be our last question?
Yeah, this should be the last one.
Okay.
Gotta skip out.
I would say I have had like forced friendships. I mean, there was a time where I was talking to this one person, and I was like, damn, like I really want to be your friend. And I just like, got myself involved, and I just try to insert this person into my life, and it just didn't really work out. And it sucked, but in the end I was like, if it's just like maybe we are meant to be friends, but maybe just not right now, and that's fine. It really is fine. But I don't want to. I've now realized that like I don't need to force friendships, because I mean I have great friends now, but I just don't feel the need to, because I don't want to like rush into a friendship without really knowing the person anymore, because I've done that so many times, and I don't want to. I think friendship needs to like build for a while before you even really call them your friends. Like for instance, Lauren, Lauren.
Yeah, I do.
Lauren and I became friends junior year, and like we would talk, we'd sit next to each other in English class, but it didn't really take until like maybe 3 months until we actually really became friends. And it takes a while. Like people are very closed off, people are very like easy to talk to, and it's just like it takes time to actually build a solid friendship. And I feel like if I didn't just go with the flow and I forced it, we wouldn't be as good of friends that we are now. And since I did, like I didn't force my friendship with Lauren, and we just kind of just like let it take its course. Yeah. And now we're just like really good friends, and like I'm glad that I kind of did that, because now Lauren's like, well, Lauren's not my best friend like as like Gabby and Adam is, but she's one of my closer friends where I can go to for anything, and she's just like a good person to have in my life. But yeah, damn.
It's cool. I always find it like fascinating how like we can just be natural and like figure things out with friends, because like with schoolwork, like you need to think to like know how to write your essay, and you need to like memorize like math equations or like formulas for math. But like with friendship and with relationships, it's very much like a natural process where you just gotta trust the other person and yourself, and like
Yeah.
yeah, like just thinking about how stuff is coming out your mouth or like coming out the other person's mouth, and like how do they know to say that, and like how are they acting, like it's just like it's kind of like it's not, it can't be calculated, it's just like it's like happening in the moment, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Any last words?
I guess I'll sign off.
Okay.
But thank you for having me on
For sure.
Unswamped. I really appreciate it, and check out all of his other podcasts that will be coming out soon, or the old ones. And thank you for having me, Ryan.
I appreciate you coming on. You're a great person, and that was an awesome conversation.
Thank you.